this biomorphic project, and it's a crazy time. I know that you guys are juggling 5 other classes and dealing with a whole lot of other things, and I just want to kind of bring you back into why I think it's important that you do this work. I think we're on the cusp of basically a whole new world, and we were anyway. I feel like your generation is going to be entering into a workforce that has a whole new host of jobs. All right, and sort of the origin of the Maker program and the class was to provide you guys an opportunity to explore the technical skills and the soft skills that you are going to need in the future. And so I just want to bring to light some of these things that I've been looking at a lot recently, and the fact that creativity and empathy, which is sort of what you're doing in this project, empathizing with the world and with the natural world, it's really important for your future, and it's going to be increasingly important, especially after this whole world change. Okay, so creativity and empathy are definitely something that a lot of jobs and a lot of marketplaces are really looking for. So it's not enough to be intelligent or hardworking or even have good grades. You need to be the kind of person that can be creative and to look at things differently. And like our sort of class motto is look again. All right. So if you feel like unmotivated in this project or unmotivated to be creative, I want you to push yourself. Okay. It's not just making like something wearable for this class that's kind of silly and based in biomorphism. Okay, it's actually more than that, and it's trying to get you to push yourself to be creative and to own that. So I think it's really important. I know it's important, and I am excited when you guys show up to this class and show work and turn things in, because it's evidence that you are going to be more secure in the future if you keep pushing yourself to be creative. This was my design plan that I did last Friday. If you haven't done this yet, you can still turn it in. I'll give you full credit, no problem. You just want to do it before you start actually working on your project. And if you turn it in and I look at it, I'm gonna either just give you a grade and approve it, or if I feel like you need some feedback or some guidance, I'll email you. Okay, so just keep your eye out for an email from me. So this is my design plan. The main source of inspiration was this story about the jellyfish in the canals in Venice. There's a link here if you want to learn more about that. And I am making some sort of like dress or just a simple covering that's like a very simple shape, but the complexity will come in like emulating a jellyfish parts, which I'll show you in a minute. If you're looking up a plant or animal, look up the name of that species and then anatomy or anatomical line drawing, and it'll give you a really simple view of the parts. I want to do justice to its natural design and the natural beauty of it, so I want to really understand its parts. And I think that's part of this project, is really looking closer at what you are using as inspiration, not just looking at it as a surface level or like, oh, those are pretty colors or that's a pretty shape, but actually looking at its engineering. So as I mentioned, I'm using plastic containers that vegetables come in for food delivery or salad, things like that. And yeah, so basically last night I just cut them up and flattened them and tore the stickers off. And I'm going to wash all the stickers and all the residue off as well. So this is sort of an updated sketch. Those two folded over pieces I cut out of the plastic containers. So those are going to be like the main structure of this wearable piece that are going to go over shoulders. And then I have all these extra pieces, and my goal is to kind of use all parts of the plastic. So I have my heat gun. I'm going to wear my mask. I'll show you in a minute. And some goggles. You can use a hairdryer as well, set on really high heat. And I'm playing around right now with the material and seeing what happens when I melt or heat up the plastic. So you'll see the sort of like uglier parts of the plastic containers, the rims, sort of melt, and I can make them from a rectangular shape into a straight shape just by way of the heat. So I'm thinking that these can become part of the what are called the arms of the jellyfish, the sort of textured parts that hang down. So it was pretty fun playing with this heat gun actually. And again, you can if you don't have a heat gun, you might have like I'm gonna put a disclaimer and not telling you to use dangerous tools, but if you have like a blowtorch or a hair dryer, just of course ask your parents first or whoever it belongs to, because again, part of this project is using materials in a new way. So right now at this stage of the project, I'm just playing with the material itself. So you see I'm just straightening out the plastic with this heat gun. So here I'm gonna play around with the flat pieces of plastic that I cut out, so not the rims, and I'm gonna see what the heat does to a more flat piece of plastic. And I'm gonna actually cut it into little almost like fringes, because the arms of the jellyfish have like these texturized edges, and so I want to see if I can kind of recreate that through plastic. And so I'm going to cut little tears in the plastic and then heat it up and see what happens. And side note, if you want to test out the baked plastic, it's kind of fun. It's not going to make the plastic curl. It's actually going to make plastic really smooth and thick. So if you need like harder, thicker plastic for your design, you can do the baking, which I believe I linked in the original project guide. Okay, so what the heat gun does is it kind of curls the plastic fringes up. So hopefully you can see that. It's actually really pretty. It almost looks like glass because it makes the plastic shinier. So the next thing I'm going to play around with is plastic bags. And again, this releases fumes anytime you heat up plastic or melt it. So make sure you guys are wearing a mask or some sort of protection. What I end up doing is twisting up the plastic into sort of a rope and then melting it, and it adheres together. It like melts into each other, so now it's like a strong rope. So if you are needing some sort of string or rope, plastic bags melted into each other are super strong. So I'm going to use that for, let me look up the name of it because I'm not an expert in jellyfish anatomy yet. So the tentacles or the lappets. So it's melting together, and I think this is how I'm going to make the tentacle part. So instead of just using string, again, my goal is to use all plastic. So that's what I'm going to use. All right, guys, have fun. I'm going to aim to get my whole project done by next Wednesday. That is not your due date. I just want to make sure you have a completed example to see of the product and the process video. All right, so have fun today. Experiment, play around with materials, push yourself to be creative, and I'll talk to you later.